Time to rock and roll.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival. If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption. Oneself against the coming horrors. Bones can fall. Even the dead can die again. Squirming, contorting, and ever-expanding. This horror must be unmade. Trauma and torment return for an encore performance. The brigands are undone. Our family crest is once again a symbol of strength. A star spawned horror. Impressive. Dazed, reeling, about to break. Did he foresee his own demise? I care not. Safety, so long as he remains dead. As the ghoulish collection scatters, the rats prepare to feast. A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horror. It is a travesty. A blundering mountain of hatred and rage. Death. Liquefaction cannot come soon enough. The aquatic devils have remade the poor girl in their image. She is their queen and their slave. A dizzying blow to body and brain. Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place. A match is struck. A blazing star is born. Even in death, the captain shouts his orders, and the crew obeys. Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold. Squirming, contorting, and ever-expanding, this horror must be unmade. A singular strike. Its destruction is a small consolation, given the implications of its terrible existence. The sparkling eyes of youth, twisted and made merciless. A decisive pummeling. As the ghoulish collection scatters, the rats are prevented. A menace of unconscionable alienation. Grievous injury. Palpable fear. Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place. Dazed, reeling, about to break. The ground quakes.
No escape!
A hideous mutation.
No escape!
Unnatural and abhorrent. Grievous injury. Palpable fear. A devastating blow. Annihilated. Dazed, reeling, about to break. Mortality clarified in a single strike. Fresh disadvantage. Give them no quarter. And their slave. Hideous matriarch. A devastating blow. Nothing lives for long. A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose. Twisted metal and splintered wood. At home amongst the headstones. A victory. Perhaps the turning point. Sand and serpent choke out hope of wholesome reverie. Destroyed. Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue. A devastating blow. A star-spawned horror. Exposed to a killing blow. The space between worlds is no place for mortal men. Precision and power. This holds much worse than mere trickery and boogeymen. The space between worlds is no place. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. quickly the tide turns. It was brutish and stupid. Moreover, a moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horror. Light gains purchase. Spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear. Mortality clarified in a single strike. A decisive pummeling. And now the true test. Hold fast or expire. Breadth from becoming unwound. Well struck. The thing is even more horrible than death. As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness, fresh disadvantage. Give them no quarter. A fortune waiting to be spent. As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear. A decisive pummeling. A predator is often blind to its own peril. Fresh disadvantage. Give them no quarter. The abyss returns even the boldest gaze. The twisted faces of the damned, piled high and cloaked in malice. Powerful blow. As the ghoulish clenches. A menace of unconscionable alien. Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered. The slow death. Unforeseen. Exposed to a killing blow. A moment of clarity in the eye of the storm. Born of the void, it dies in the earth. Twisted and maniacal, a slathering testament to the powers of corruption. Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss. Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration. The true test. Hold fast or expire. Leave her corpse to rot, consumed by the spores she spawned. A powerful blow. Great is the weapon's end on its own. Surgical precision. The spasmodically squirming, braying, and snorting half-corpses were heaped each upon the other until at last I was rid of them. Squirming, contorting, and ever-expanding. This horror must be unmade. crouching on the brink, facing the abyss. A dizzying blow to body and brain. Perched at the very precipice of oblivion. As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves. Its destruction is a small consolation, given the implications of its terrible existence. Madness can take many forms, but none so contemptible as man's belief in a mythology of his own view, buttressed by dogmatic desperation, invariably leads to single-minded fanaticism and a need to do terrible things. This man is an animal, rabid, destructive, and incapable of nuanced understanding. He must be put down. You are not alone in this place. The fanatic is on the prowl, and he smells your sickness. Masterfully executed. Impressive. A predator is often blind to its own peril. The flames of the smoldering pyre dance in his eyes with murderous zeal. As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves. Perched at the very precipice of oblivion. The whimpering dog flees to his kennel. They would arrive in teeming hordes, adorned in powdered wigs, slake their thirst on wine and indecency. There's intoxication and innocuous frivolities that escalate to ever more disturbing. Orchestrating the hideous affair was a hunchbacked fiend who seemed to delight in proportion to... I could have stopped him, I suppose. But I was a slave, and restraint would have rendered me a hypocrite. What games does this diminutive fool play at now? A hideous mutation, unnatural and abhorrent. Masterfully executed. Well struck. Grievous injury. Palpable. Annihilated. A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors. It would seem his taste for triviality remains unabated, even now. The jig is up. The game is done. The thing has no name, or it needs no light. Mortality clarified in a single strike. Ringing ears. Blurred vision. The end approaches. Monster's size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue. The interminable stone holes are not an antigen. In that moment of brain-blasting realization, I ceased to be a man and became a herald. You still foolishly consider yourself an entity separate from the whole. I know better. And I will show you. Flesh is fluid. It can be changed, reshaped, remade. The flesh is immortal. It is undying. Pray it does not take too hideous a form. Behold the heart of the world, progenitor of life, father and mother, alpha and omega, our creator and our destroyer. Devils have remade the poor girl in their image. She is their queen and their slave. Hideous matriarch, vile queen of the aquatic depths. She has no place in the sane world. The match is struck. A blazing star is born. There will be no rest by the fire tonight. Their cursed champion falls. These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be the light, the promise of safety. A powerful blow. A devastating blow. How quickly the tide turns. Even in death, the captain shouts his orders, and the crew obeys. to a killing blow. And now, the darkness holds dominion. Black as death. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light? Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze. I brought my colleagues back with much of their intellect triumph, or even the most experienced necromancer. Towering, fierce, terrible, nightmare-made material. A powerful blow. The ground quakes. A dizzying blow to body and brain. With no living sinew to actuate them, will these walking bones finally fail? It came from the stars. Let it return to them. The madman hides there, behind the pews, spouting his mindless drivel. This place. Success, so marvel of technology. An engine of destruction. Inspiration and improvement. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own. A momentary abatement. The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden. A lifetime of pious toil. An eternity of suffering. Fitting that he might rest upon the dirt he harrowed so through reality regained. Or perhaps reborn? The glutton's taste for morbidity is made more pronounced by his mutation. Let us hope he enjoyed his last meal, served cold as it was.
Mercifully, the morbid encounter resolved itself in my favor.
The Countess arrives, anomalous in aspect, and bent on exacting terrible revenge from beyond the bounds of decency. Where I failed, you have succeeded. and the world is better for it. The Hamlet cannot stand for this thing that should not be. Defeat it. Claim the prize it guards. Masterfully executed. A singular strike. Exposed to a killing blow. How quickly the tide turns. Unnerved, unbalanced. Behold the infinite malignity of the stars. Mortality clarified in a single strike. It could be dismissed as a fever dream. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzy fall.
Flawless victory.